I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down. He should calm down.
So he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Because Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack.
Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please, just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber!
Water! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got up, man! Are you kidding? No, you won the fight.
OMG. I am so excited.
Yes. What is up? MCR family? It's another weekly edition of the show nowadays in a post-coronavirus world. And obviously all those out there protesting and marching the streets for the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, and all the other countless lives lost due to white supremacy. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. Stay safe out there. And just quick side note, I should say, just in the realm of just sad news, we in our own sport lost somebody that was a Hall of Famer, Curtis Coates, the first champion in Dallas. I know Gary might talk more about that later on in the show. He passed away as well at the age of 82. So just a lot of tragedy right now in the world. I felt like I didn't really want to do a show for last week. Sorry about that. But we're back. I'm at the Hipster Hunter. Should be a fun show because we do have a lot of boxing to get to. If you want any of my other thoughts about things I just mentioned, me and Anthony Walker did a show called Nothing New. It's on our podcast feed on Apple, Spotify, etc. So go check that out if you want my thoughts about anything going on in the world. But digressing, like I said, we have a lot of boxing to get to. Without further ado, let me get to my full panel on today's show. Or not full panel. Shout out to Foogatti, who's not here with us. He's alive. He's not dead. Let's go over to the UK. Mr. Robbie Hearns, second cousin, twice removed. Rob, how are you today in the UK, man?
Yeah, good. Glad to be back. I know it's been 2020 sucks basically. So but
yep.
Mini, tiny silver lining. Boxing's back. We're actually maybe going to discuss a fight card.
Maybe.
But in true top rank fashion, it's all right. No, I'll try and be happy about it. No, boxing's back. I know we can't go straight into it. But 360 million people in America, and have to get some guy from Puerto Rico that we've never heard of for Shakur, but all good. But yeah, other news, we'll get into it. But yeah, Gary, how you doing, man?
Gary in Dallas. Gary, how are you, man?
Good. Puerto Rico is part of the U.S., right, Rob?
Yeah, it probably wasn't the best example to use. It's like Cuba. That would make sense.
Right.
So why do they say he's from Puerto Rico?
I'm from Texas, the Republic of Texas.
No, you're from America, Gary.
I love this republic.
So is Puerto Rico. It's a territory.
Territory. I don't know. Matt can probably explain.
Is it a state of America?
So you have different designations of land, right? So like every state was formerly a territory. And then you have enough of a population, if you get enough of a vote, whatever, you become a state. We have certain territories that aren't states: Guam, Puerto Rico, Marshall Islands, I believe. I can't think of any other ones at this point.
The Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands. I say Marshall Islands. My bad.
So sorry, Puerto Ricans out there. You're actually Americans. Sorry.
They have their own Olympic team and stuff.
It's confusing.
All stuff I wish
over here. Just do your intro.
All stuff I wish Texas would do. And shout out to Curtis Coates. May God rest his soul. The first world champion from Dallas, one of the great welterweights of all time, who was world renowned for his training and his regimen. They said he was in fight shape every day. They say his workout regimen was the best they ever saw. So God rest his soul. They said he passed easy, peacefully. So at least that's good news. Lived to be 82, so he had a pretty good life. Rest easy, champ. It's been interesting 2020. Every day you look outside and see what chapter of Revelation are we going to do today. It's just been
which seal's being broken at this point in time, you know? Like
if 2020 was a basketball franchise, it'd be the New York Knicks.
if it was a British Premier League team, it'd be Arsenal.
Are they not good? Are Arsenal not good?
I mean, Rob, do you want to explain like bad front office? I'll put it that way. Bad front office.
What does front office mean?
Like bad management, bad ownership. Like they don't really handle the team that well.
Oh, I don't know if Arsenal's in the Knicks bracket.
That's harsh.
Arsenal would probably beat them at basketball, right?
Probably.
But the Knicks may beat them at soccer. I don't know. No, I'm only messing. No, I don't know. Matt's just using it because that's who he supports, and they're probably trash because he supports them.
That is true. That's how it happens.
I say supports,
but it's how I support like Carl Frampton. I just it's from a distance,
quietly.
Quiet.
Oh, we can get that Carl Frampton versus Jamel Herring fight. Is that going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, not this year. It's not happening this year.
Fighting in July, but there's still 6 months or 5 months. I'm not a math major. How many months after July? But there's still 5 or 6 months after July.
5.5, let's say, depending on what point in July. No, I think that fight it will happen, but like it depends on travel issues, money issues. I mean, like Rob said, I mean, we're gonna get to it later on the show, but the Shakur Stevenson fight's a joke. That's a great example of what we're gonna be facing.
Oh, and one last thing. There is boxing on tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to touch on that. I don't think we are. On Facebook Live out of Mexico, King Carlos Molina, the former world champion.
Will. Well, is it tomorrow? I thought it was. Oh, it doesn't say on ESPN what it's on, but it's on Facebook. Good to know.
It's $5. I don't know how that works.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no one buy this. Please don't buy this.
No, we ain't talking about it.
Buy it for $5, Matt.
I'm not buying this for $5. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna buy it. Like there's no boxing on.
I can buy some junk food for that and be satisfied more than I can from watching this.
Edmonds. Oh, those Edmonds cookies are good. That's a bad example. Like the Edmonds chocolate chip cookies. Oh, those are so good. Oh, no.
I don't know what Edmonds are. But
have those out? We just got them recently.
Maybe if I saw the package, I would probably know. To be honest, Gary. But digressing, because we do have some like stuff to get to, like Canelo Alvarez. I'll be fighting some people, Ryan Garcia is ducking Hector Nahara. I know you want to get to that, Gary, and that's deep in the show, so we do have to get to other stuff.
Wait, ducking him?
Yo, let me just gas up my boy here, okay? Let me just gas him up, please.
He's wanted a boxing show for so bad. Just let him have a good topic.
Oh no, man. Maybe Ryan Garcia is ducking him. Sign the contract, Ryan. But without further ado, let's get to the top of the show. Ryan Garcia is ducking Hector Nahara. I know. Which one of you had YouTube open? Gary.
Oh, that's my bad. That was me.
That was me. Hold on, I just for these occasions. Thank you, Gary. Let's get to the topics of today. Mike Coppinger was the first, I think, to really talk about this issue, or this topic, I should say. Sources: Canelo Alvarez, Sergey Derevyanchenko in talks for September 14th at 168 pounds. Canelo was set to face Billy Joe Saunders, the zone's preferred May 2nd foe before pandemic hit. Other opponents being considered for Canelo, but it won't be Triple G. Unlikely to see Canelo Triple G3 until early 2021. And Rob, before I move on, I forget who said it, but somebody said that they're looking for basically half of the cost of Billy Joe Saunders for Canelo's next opponent. I forget who said that. Was it Keith Idek?
Keith Idek. Yeah, I sort of had a couple of back and forth with Keith Idek. He said basically Golden Boy are looking to for half of what Billy Joe was getting. So calling all middleweights, super middleweights, maybe even light heavyweights. If you're happy to face Canelo for $4 million, throw your name in the hat.
And also Mike Coppinger, Sergey Derevyanchenko managers Keith Conley tells The Athletic, no official offer has been made yet to fight Canelo Alvarez in September, but Golden Boy has my cell number, and if it's a real offer, I'll sit down with Al Heyman and Sergey and consider it, end quote. After this, as we just were talking about, Keith Idek came out with his own report and said that Golden Boy is considering Anthony Dirrell also as Canelo's next opponent. I also want to add that the guys over at Sunday Puncher say that Willie Monroe is also up for consideration. So obviously,
wait, no, dude, where really?
Yes, Deuce Boxing, and he's been like pretty accurate with some stuff. So I that's why I didn't put it on, but I just want to point that out that he's apparently, due to sources, in consideration as well. As we can see, we're not going to get a grade A level opponent for Canelo coming up. I have several thoughts about this, but before I do, I want to hear you guys first. So, Gary, thoughts on Canelo's next fight in September with Sergey Derevyanchenko, Anthony Dirrell, and maybe a dark horse in the race like Willie Monroe Jr. coming up? I don't know. Let's hope not. Gary, thoughts?
You know, Monroe, because whenever you say David Lemieux is Saunders' best win, I say nope, Monroe. Right? I like Monroe, but is he even active anymore? Has he fought since he lost to Billy Joe?
Remember, he had the drug suspension.
Oh yeah, he was supposed to fight Jamal Charlo. Yeah.
That's how we got Matt Korboff.
That was a disaster.
On that first Fox card. I mean, for those that don't remember, we were supposed to get Jamal Charlo versus Willie Monroe Jr. Willie Monroe Jr. tested positive. I forget for what substance. I forget for how long he was suspended, but he was suspended. But that is probably up now. It's probably been a year or so since then, obviously. So, yeah.
I have a few thoughts on this, right? First, Derevyanchenko deserves a shot, right? Like, he beat Triple G. He did, right?
Air quotes, but yes.
Yeah. He deserves a title shot, right? He won a world title fair and square against Triple G, and he got robbed. So let him fight for another world title. That being said, it's stylistic, and I like Derevyanchenko, right? I do. Right? I like Rozier. I have the utmost respect for Rozier. Like, I've talked to him a lot. He's a great guy. This stylistically is a nightmare. Him walking forward to Canelo, and he's a tough guy too, so he'll sit there and take a beating. I think Canelo eventually stops him, but that's one-way traffic. Stylistically, and it's not a knock on Derevyanchenko. Stylistically, that's an awful fight for him.
It's a little bit of a better version of like James Kirkland, for example. Like, it'd be a fun fight for as long as it lasts, but
Canelo's so much sharper now than when he fought Kirkland. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bad fight, and I'd rather see Derevyanchenko try to fight Triple G again. I don't think they'll make that. I don't know. I think Dirrell is a decent opponent, but Triple G's better at everything, so Triple G beats him. But
you mean Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo. I'm sorry. Yeah, Canelo. I think Dirrell's a decent opponent for Canelo, but Canelo's better across the board, right? So Canelo's to beat him. It's like in the playoffs when the 1 seed plays the 8 seed. It's like the 8 seeds are good. They're good, but I mean, they're not going to beat the best team in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, and this best team in the league is a potential Hall of Famer, or let's be honest, will be a Hall of Famer. That's just
I mean, if you try today, yeah.
Rob,
like the '56 Yankees. Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Mickey Mantle was on that team. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, this is Canelo's just pulling down DAZN's pants and just saying, "Look, I'll fight anyone for whatever money, for the money that you've given me." But I don't know. I mean, I like the Derevyanchenko fight, except is he going to have to move up to 68? Probably. So, yeah, that sort of changes things a little bit. But if he was to have gone in there and completely destroyed Sergey Derevyanchenko, it's kind of like, look, Triple G, you sure you want a third fight? Because look what I did to you, man. He took you close. And I've dominated him, whatever. Dirrell, he's just lost to Benavidez. Who was the other? Monroe. Please. If Canelo says, make that fight, Oscar, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. That's just poor.
It is clearly the worst fight of the three.
Is like mortally offended by this.
Wait, hold on. It is clearly the worst fight of the three. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Like, out of Derevyanchenko, Dirrell, Monroe, like, it's clearly the worst one.
Yeah.
Right, Gary?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I just have a question. But you said the 56 Yankees. That's like a historic team that beat the Dodgers in 7 games in the world. What do you know about the 56 Yankees? Like that was Mickey Mantle's crown year, wasn't it? Like, did you know what you were saying? Or was that just a coincidence?
It was just a coincidence. It was just a
coincidence. No. I've been.
But no, we don't need to egg this on. We can move on.
No, Gary does a baseball reference every show, and I thought, as a good co-host, I would try and bring myself up to speed.
Shut up.
Did you know
Motherfucker.
Did you know that was an iconic team? That, like, did you know that?
Yeah, I just roughly guessed that was because I knew kind of they were back when things were like black and white TV and shit.
All right.
Radio.
Starting up on baseball history?
No. Maybe I'm just subliminally listening to you, Gary, and I'll just take it in.
Help me, God, please.
I should be on a quiz team. We should do a quiz.
No, but it was like if you said the 85 Bears. It's like, yeah, that's a historic team.
I was going to, but I was just going with the baseball because you were down the baseball thing.
It was an excellent reference, Rob.
Thank you. How lucky we are.
Oh, back to back.
But yeah,
Matt is mayor of Fed Upville right now.
Fed Upville.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
It goes for both of you.
Gordon, that was really loud. Damn.
Is his show still on TV, by the way? Gordon
yeah, definitely. Yeah. But doesn't he have like the kid cooking show now and like obviously like the adult one?
Yeah.
The kid one's pretty decent. I used to watch it in college and get ideas how to cook. That's honestly what
He
happened.
should definitely treat some of those kids like he does some of the adults. It would make much better TV.
Anyways, my quick thoughts. I saw someone mentioned in the chat, and I've had this thought as well. Obviously, Canelo is due to a relative tune-up because he just moved up 2 weight classes and fought Sergey Kovalev. I get it, but here's the deal: he can move back down to 160 and fight Jamal Charlo, Triple G at this point, and that is honestly a fucking tune-up. So I don't think, and this is particularly an issue of Canelo wanting an even worse opponent than he's been asking for. I think this is particularly an issue of DAZN not wanting to pay the B side a huge amount because they've been doing that a lot lately. And as Keith Adek, I think, said on Twitter, again, I wanted to Keith Adek to Rob on Twitter, like as we talked about earlier, they were looking for half of what Billy Joe was asking for Canelo's next opponent.
Well, he said Golden Boy want to pay half.
Okay, thank you for the correction. I will say this. Golden Boy and DAZN at this point in time, when we hear what they want for Canelo, it's the same goddamn thing. You know why? Because DAZN probably has an investment interest in Golden Boy right now. Let's be honest.
They have a stake.
What we've heard. We know they have a stake. We don't know how much, but I would assume they're enough to where at this point in time, when it comes to Canelo's sort of career planning, DAZN and Golden Boy are on the same page, and it's Canelo on the outside, and that's been the rift for a while.
Let's be honest. DAZN must only own 49%. Otherwise, Oscar wouldn't have a job, right?
I don't know, because he's the guy that started it.
Yeah, I know, but if you're 51%, then I'm sorry. Thank you
it's
for
not that long ago. 5 years ago, it was the biggest promoter in the game, right? It's not that. I know it was never good, right? But like, it was like Golden Boy was it. You know, it was bigger than Top Rank. PBC wasn't around.
Yeah, but look what's happened in 6 months since January the 1st happened this year.
I understand. A
lot can happen in 5 years.
It's not in 5 years. It's like that one night where everything changed. That's what happened. Richard Schaefer happened.
I got a vision. I can't get it out of my mind now.
Oh, so good.
But yeah, I said to Keith, so it's more a financial thing than I said, because as DAZN approved this apparent list, and then he kind of like he said, I think they'll definitely approve Derevyanchenko. He's not sure about the others, like the Dirrell, and I didn't know the Monroe. I was going to say, if DAZN approved Monroe,
it'll be cheap.
Well, yeah, but so I said it's more of a financial thing than a subscriber driver. thing then? And he said, at this point, I think like kind of like yes. It's sort of financial rather than, it's make some really great fights to drive subscribers. So
yeah, at this point, if you're the zone, let's be honest here, you're not thinking about like driving subscribers, thinking about like keeping afloat, right? Like that's probably more the mindset now, at least from all the internal information that's come out from DAZN about how they've been saying to their own employees, it's the worst thing to happen in sports in 75 years. It's clearly, oh shit, we're trying to survive here for DAZN. So if that's the case, then they're probably not thinking, how do we expand the business right now? They're thinking about how to keep the business surviving, how to keep the lights on, so to speak. Guys, any other thoughts on this before we move on to another topic? No? Okay, let's move on to another great topic. Fuck, goddamn this. Manny Pacquiao, guys. He might be fighting someone. And it's someone I know that we're all excited for. A guy that we've all asked for, right? Oh, fuck no. It's a guy in 2 weight classes higher? Yeah, it's Gennady Golovkin, and Freddie Roach says he's interested. God damn it. I fucking hate this shit. At the same time, I don't know if we should keep the separate topics or not, but Terrence Crawford saying that, he's been talking to Pacquiao's team, and Arum is saying, because, they're buddies with Daniel Kinahan and that whole gang over there, that Pacquiao-Crawford could happen in Bahrain because of the KHK and MTK global connection. So, guys, thoughts on what happens to still arguably one of the biggest stars in the sport, Manny Pacquiao, next? Does he fight Terrence Crawford, who he should be fighting next, arguably, or do we get a Triple G freak super fight?
We don't get either. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's probably true. That's probably true. Yes.
Yeah. And don't say like and that gang over there. That's I
didn't speak. I'm sorry. Alleged.
No, just management company over there.
The group.
Yeah.
The homies. The gang.
No, gang. No, I'm not.
Oh, see. Sorry. Just
not happy with gang. Certain views are not of mine. Yeah, I don't think we get it. And look, and if you actually read what Freddie Roach said, it's like he might want to go up and fight Triple G or one of those guys. Like he's saying that Manny, like the glory, maybe another division and that kind of thing, like legacy over, I guess, sanity. I don't know, but yeah. So I've kind of with that story kind of gone, all right. Freddie Roach kind of saying, because he said in that interview with Chris Mannix, he said I really like the Mikey Garcia fight, but Manny might want to go up and face like a Triple G or one of those guys, one of the big names. So I don't know. I don't think it's likely. And as for Bob Arum talking about Crawford, he said we're in like kind of like serious talks, and then it was like he was asked for a percentage of the chances of that happening. He's like, well, we'll have to like wait and see how that turns out. But
exact quote if you want it, Rob.
Okay.
I have it right here for you. We hope we get Crawford and Pacquiao in action this year, and through our friends at MTK, shout out to the gang, we are in serious talks. Oh, I didn't get the article up. My bad. Here we go. We're in serious talks with Bahrain. Serious talks with Bahrain for doing major fights there. And I'm told IFL TV, I would like to do some big events in Bahrain. Let's see what happens, is what the next quote is after the presumed question that Rob is referring to. So there we go. I do think that there's probably some negotiations to some effect of a Crawford Pacquiao fight or a Crawford fight period or in the Middle East. I don't think it's going to be Pacquiao Crawford. I think Pacquiao Mike Garcia is probably still the safest bet for Pacquiao's next fight. Gary, you have yet to talk about this subject.
Let me ask this, right? This is it for Pacquiao. I mean, he maybe got. It's like Tom Brady. You would say, like on paper, like this is it. Like, but maybe he just keeps going and going, like Brady, right? And age doesn't really impact him. But
depends on the level of testing.
Right. There's that. How good he can clear his system, right? what's a bigger fight for his legacy, Garcia or Crawford? Obviously, it's Crawford, right? So, like, this is it. Like, okay, I have 1 or 2 more chances to really, cement my legacy. I want Crawford. What's a bigger fight than Crawford? Well, not a bigger fight. Well, maybe a bigger fight. We'll talk about that. What's better for my legacy? If I go up to middleweight and beat Triple G, I'm a 9 division world champion. Look, I'm not saying he's going to win that fight, but if you're Pacquiao, like, you're looking at it, it's like, well, I beat Margarito. He was huge. I could beat this guy. He's washed, right? I can beat this guy at this point. I'm not saying he can or he can't. I'm saying that's what he's thinking. Like, that would be another step in my legacy, right? If I go ahead and beat Crawford or I beat Triple G, is my legacy now better than Floyd's? It's hard to say. It's not if you keep winning into your 40s. Like, you beat Keith Thurman. If you go beat one of these guys, it's hard to deny him, right? It was like, what could Brady ever do to be better than Montana? Well, keep winning into your 40s, right? Like, just keep it going. And that's what Pacquiao is doing. Like, could you imagine if Pacquiao won one of those fights? He'd be pound for pound the best guy in the sport again at 41 years old.
I do agree with you, Gary, that Triple G fight is obviously a big fight still, regardless of maybe our own respective opinions about where Triple G stands right now in 2020 in terms of how long he has left in the tank. But it's still a huge sort of feather in your cap. It's a huge, huge name in your ledger. It just is, period. And again, going up 2 weight classes to 160 and fighting Triple G, who has a belt, who still is a top 5 name in the division, let's be honest here. That would be massive. And some people still have Triple G in their top 10 pound for pound, for fuck's sake.
Those people are ridiculous, but
they are. But there's still people that have Triple G in their pound for pound top 10. So it would still be a big fight. I just think it's outlandish that would happen. Not that it wouldn't be big. Not that even Pacquiao maybe thinks he could be competitive or win that fight. I bet he does. Pacquiao maybe could dance on the outside, or if at least he thinks he could dance on the outside and jab his way to victory. He probably thinks that. I just don't think this happens. Like, there's enough checks within a team like his probably to make him not take these type of fights. Same with like a Crawford fight. Somebody's going to tell him, say, hey, still a lot of money. It's a big legacy fight, but he's still going to have somebody in his team say, hey, you can go fight Mikey. It's an easy fight and still make 90% of that money. Easy. No issues.
Freddie also said he wouldn't be happy or would advise Manny to try the 160 route. He said I wouldn't really be happy with that, but he is who he is. But yeah, Gary, quickly, was that the Joe Montana kind of mid 80s 49ers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just making it as an analogy, right? Like, what?
I get you. Oh, you're same page, bro.
Clearly, you two needed to do a show together. Like, clearly, you two missed each other. I'll put it that way.
Gary and I doing just a general sports podcast. Smash it out of the park.
You guys can do it. You guys have access to the YouTube channel.
We got a football reference all in the first half hour of the show.
Yeah. But yeah, Manny, Mikey probably. I don't know, even if it's still probably at this point, because
quickly, Dwayne in the chat, long-time listener, long-time supporter. Shout out to you, Dwayne, saying tinfoil hat moment. I do like those. Saying if Manny goes to 160 and beats Triple G, I'd be very suspicious, especially another fight without VADA. Well, to be honest, Triple G doesn't want VADA either, and he would love that. So it's kind of both of them would clearly find some advantages with no VADA testing. Let's be honest. There's a reason why Triple G stopped doing VADA testing for like a 9-month period after the second Canelo fight, because he didn't want to test. He wanted to recover on some good shit. Allegedly.
The best was during the Mayweather thing. Pacquiao goes, I don't even know what steroids are.
I don't like needles.
That is. I don't like needles. I got 5 tattoos.
I think they're just henna. I was
about to say that. Thank you, Rob.
Those transfers used to get with bubblegum.
Clarissa Shields is out there asking for 3-minute rounds and equality in women's boxing, which I think we've all been asking for a long time. And speaking of what's next for her, Layla Ali demanded $5 million for that fight. So that's not happening. Let's be just quite honest about it. It looks like I think the purses are going to be shrunk as the years go on. Let's be honest. I think the bubble that I've been talking about bursting, it's happening, guys. Just want to point that out. And we really don't need to spend much time on this. You guys have any other thoughts on, again, 3-minute rounds in women's boxing, 12-minute rounds? 12 rounds in women's boxing. Layla Ali demanding $5 million. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we should definitely go to 3-minute rounds. We talked about that. That's no brainer.
I know.
But like, I thought this was what was going to happen. It was Layla Ali's like, I can get $5 million. All right, I can get back in shape one more time for $5 million, but I'm not going to do it for any less than that, right? So, I mean, look, if they offered her $5 million, would Layla really consider it? I think so, but they're not going to offer that. So, it's like when you put a for sale sign in your house for an amount you know you won't get. It's like if someone offers it, I'll take it, but I don't think anyone's going to actually do that, right?
Thank Cap in the chat saying Esparza Estrada, which was a great fight last year, had 3-minute rounds. Yes, they had to specifically request that from the state commission. The sanctioning body was not in favor of it. They had to especially request it from the state commission, and that's how they got it. So it's a little bit different. Still to this day, WBC Mauricio Suleiman will say that due to women's health, we can't have 3-minute rounds in women's boxing, which is hilarious. Moving on, unless Rob.
No, I just want to say very quick. If the bare knuckle fighting championships can offer Mike Tyson $20 million, then someone must be able to give Layla Ali $5 million.
Good point. If bare knuckle boxing or bare knuckle fighting, I should say, can offer Mike Tyson $20 million to fight like some like Ken Shamrock or some bullshit,
Shannon Briggs,
then there's probably $5 million out there for Layla Ali.
Let me ask you a real question.
At least pre-pandemic, I think there was.
Layla Ali versus Clarissa Shields pay-per-view with a good co-main event, right? Like a good co-main event.
Please give me an example. I know I'm calling a spot here. I need an example of a good co-main event. Are we talking about just a good, top 10 versus top 10 guy, or is it another great title fight?
Let me just go through the list of picks.
A good title fight with a name that's recognizable to people.
I don't know, Hector Tanahara maybe.
First, pick somebody, something like that, right? Something, or Teofimo Lopez versus whoever, right?
Okay, like Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney, if just a fucking shot in the dark. If that was the co-main event in some fantasy card, would we pay for it?
How many pay-per-view buys do you think it would do?
Not a lot.
If you get 300, then $5 million is not unreasonable. No, all right.
Out of interest, do you think it would do more if it was Layla Ali, Clarissa as the co-main with Lopez Haney as the main?
No.
This would be the first. It was Layla Ali. So.
Yeah. No, it was just a question thrown out there. That was
no. I understand the question. I understand the question completely. No, I don't think it would be. I think a huge part of that card would be it's Layla Ali back. She is still a mainstream figure in some fashion that would get mainstream attraction more than, let's say, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. That fight would be for us hardcores to not bitch about it. That's what a great co-main is honestly for, because the co-main is not for the mainstream audience, not for the casuals. The main event is this is the only thing the casuals care about. Co-main's for us. So that's why I asked about the co-main. But I think this would do, like, let's say with that card, like 150K. Like I
demand $5 million for 100. You know,
I mean, to be fair, did you see Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev's payout?
He got $6 million guaranteed for the first one. I don't know what he got for the second, but
a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. Miguel Cotto's deal with Rock Nation. God, those Rock Nation deals. Remember Adrian Broner's Rock Nation offer?
The turned down offer.
The one he turned down. I forget what the.
Wasn't it for like 40 million or something? Wasn't it
a lot
like that?
Yeah, crazy. But anyways, digressing, guys. We can move on.
He's going to make that against one of Gary's other guys, right?
But Virgil Ortiz.
I want that fight to happen. Oh, I want that fight to happen so badly.
It's not happening, Gary. Let's be honest.
I don't think so either.
If Golden Boy are looking for people less than 8 million for Canelo to fight, they ain't going to be paying crazy money for Broner to fight their young prospect.
I would say this though: if I'm Golden Boy and I'm DAZN and you're trying to make Virgil Ortiz a star, I would offer Broner the bag. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie offered him early doors, right? I think for the third fight was going to be like 2.75 million for the third fight of the deal. So I think it was a grand total of about 7.5 million.
Yeah, but that was way too low for Broner. Like Broner's a bigger star than Mikey Garcia, for example, right? Like that's now the benchmark for me for future DAZN fights. If Mikey got like, let's say, allegedly 6 to 7 million for one fight, man, Broner, if he's going to fight Vergil Ortiz on DAZN, he should be getting near like $10 million. That's just the market that they have set up. That's the standard they have created, unfortunately. And I think it would make Vergil Ortiz the closest thing to a star you could do, even more so than maybe fighting an Earl Spence. That might be crazy, but that might just be a reality, guys.
Beat up on Broner, and people like to see that. People like to watch Broner get beat up.
Broner is a mainstream figure.
Broner's a star.
Like, and I should. Yeah, but Broner's the closest thing to a mainstream star in the welterweight division that we have, and that other than Manny Pacquiao, of course, and that is really sad. But that's just the truth, unfortunately.
Talent at 147, the star is this freak sideshow clown Broner. Like,
yeah, the boxer that doesn't throw his hands.
Never.
That's what he's becoming. So I don't know. I think that star's dwindling.
I still think if he still draws good numbers. I mean, at least the last time we've seen him, which has been a while now, I want to say, right? It's been a couple years now.
Last January against Pacquiao.
Yeah, so it's been a while. I mean that did decent numbers. It did.
Obviously got that back end check, and that's why we haven't seen him since that fight.
Absolutely.
We haven't seen Maidana since the fight.
Did you see the picture that floated around? I think it was yesterday or the day before. That was clearly photoshopped.
Yeah, there's an app for that.
It's so good.
I can buff myself up right now in about 2 clicks.
So
I can decrease what I've got already. You know, you can really manipulate it. I could put a gut on me if I want it.
Sergio Martinez said he is coming back. That looks like it's actually going to happen. I don't know if it's just for one fight.
Gary, can you please bring the mic to your face? Thank you.
So Sergio Martinez versus Maidana at 160. Can Maidana make 160 at this point, or is that
No, Maidana could probably make 160.
Okay.
Yeah, he's only got a couple of ounces to lose looking at that photo. Shit. I don't know. It's too much muscle mass, if you ask me.
That was so good. I love that photo so much.
People are like, shit, he's in shape. They're the same people that say Mike Tyson's going to rip through the heavyweight division because he looks fantastic.
Those people are smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of maybe the next star in U.S. boxing, Devin Haney, who was Rob. I don't know if you want to try to explain the whole WBC situation that happened last month, because I don't want to, because that's just a clusterfuck beyond all imagining. But he's now in line to fight Luke Campbell to defend his title.
Mm-hmm. This was the voluntary before to face the mandatory.
Yes, and originally, because of Haney's injury, it's supposed to be Campbell Fortuna for the vacant interim belt, or just the vacant belt?
Vacant title, yeah.
Okay, that's scrapped completely, I want to say. And now Eddie Hearn wants to make Haney versus Campbell.
Because Haney wrote to the WBC saying, look, nothing's happened in between my injury and me getting the surgery. So I'm not in recess anymore. I can resume. I can pick up where we left off. And they went, okay, you're the champion again. And I think at first they were thinking, but you must face your mandatory. But now they've said you get a voluntary before your mandatory. So,
but correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Fortuna Campbell still technically ordered by the WBC to make the mandatory for Devin Haney? Am I wrong in that?
I think it might have been.
Okay.
Yeah, they were going to be. Yeah, those two would.
Okay, so that is still technically ordered by the WBC. I don't know if Eddie Hearn can get around that. He should be. It's the WBC. Gives a fuck, right? Like, they've been taking checks from promoters and doing whatever the fuck they want for years. So that's not going to stop them.
They might look at it like, yeah, we fucked Dillian White around, and you're very angry about that. So yeah, Campbell can go fighting for the title. That's fine.
And so I can see that happening, and them sort of sidestep that ordered mandatory eliminator between Campbell and Fortuna. I don't know if that happens. I don't know if that's going to be a holdup for a Haney Campbell fight, but just laying out all of the information for those listening. So, guys, I'll go to you, Rob, first, since you've been talking to me. Thoughts on Haney Campbell, that potentially happening, that maybe not happening due to any sort of WBC order. Thoughts on this next fight for Devin Haney?
Yeah, I think obviously his toughest opponent by quite a wide margin. And I know people go, oh yeah, but Campbell getting another shot, and he's had his chat, but he's lost to Linares when Linares was, when Matt liked him, and then
I feel like Linares. Ryan Garcia is still ducking him. Okay, relax.
And obviously he's come up against pound for pound wherever you've got him in your list, but Lomachenko, and gave him a decent enough fight, I think, but gradually Loma went through the gears and it just proved a bit too much. But I think he was unlucky in the Linares fight, just a flash knockdown, and then he got up and, I don't know, done good against Linares, I think. Very close at the end. So yeah, good fight. I like it, and I think the WBC will be fine with it. I think that will be happening somewhere in the US, I think.
Gary, thoughts on what's next for Devin Haney?
Boy, I love that fight. Like, we've talked about this fight. I would love this fight. I don't know that he's sharp enough yet. And look, Haney 5 years from now is, if he continues to progress, is an all-world talent, right? Right now, I don't know that I've seen enough to think he's sharp enough to beat Luke Campbell. He could, because he's a better athlete. He's strong. He's physically bigger and stronger, and he's more powerful. But Luke Campbell is a really good craftsman, right? He's really savvy in the ring. I love this fight. This would be a huge step up. The winner of them can fight Tanahara when Tanahara disposes of King Rai. Like, keep forgetting that Haney's actually a 2-time world champion.
No, we don't say that now, right? No, we don't say that. We don't. No.
He's just, Gary's doing the whole 2-time email champion. That's what he's doing.
World champion.
Yeah.
And he's beaten.
It's true.
Like Charlo is the email champion right now, and
Yeah, but at least he had a belt actually at 154, so it's not like as bad. Like Haney and Shakur, like their situations are so much worse, in my opinion, because they'd fought fucking nobody.
Is what it is. I don't know.
Shakur fought Joel Gonzalez, and I thought Gonzalez was good.
You thought that?
Yeah.
I stand alone on that island, but I stand correct.
No, you don't stand correct. You stand corrected.
Yeah, I got corrected, I guess.
I don't think he won a single second of that fight with Shakur Stevenson.
No.
Shakur's gonna vacate it before he's defended it.
Yeah, who knows with him? Plus, I don't know how long he can make that fucking wait.
This next fight's at 1:30, so he's fighting at 1:30 in this Tuesday night fight. And he kind of mentioned that he might come back for the right fight. So if I'm the WBO, I'm like, wait, do you want to defend this bout at any point? Do you want to let us know, or could someone else fight for our vacant title?
I don't know yet. I'll decide later.
Yeah.
I'm fine right now. That's what Shakur's saying to the WBO.
No,
and it's top rank in WBO. You think the WBO is going to do anything about it?
No, probably not.
No, they aren't. No, it's top rank. But digressing back to Haney, I think we're pretty much all in agreement. We can move on. Let's get to the topic I know Gary's been dying to discuss here. Okay.
The franchise champion at heavyweight, maybe? Possibility, that one?
No, we're not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I want to wait on that till it actually happens. If it happens, then we can rant about it for an entire show.
But Bob, again, Top Rank kind of asking for it, like they did for Loma, and they got it.
Look, you know my thoughts about it, okay? My blood pressure can't take it, Rob. There are some topics I on purpose cut from the show.
Some people are suggesting that this is when the franchise bout works, because the idea of it is that the franchise champion misses out his mandatory, and we get the big fight. We get the undisputed.
No, this is exactly what it's designed for.
But is it undisputed because Dillian White would be upgraded to the WBC champ?
Here's the thing. You can say that that's exactly what it's designed for, and you're perfectly right. That is exactly what it's designed for. that designed belt or designation is bullshit. The fact that we have that is what's wrong. Not that if a franchise champion is the right case in this division or not, that doesn't matter. It just shouldn't be around, period. End of the discussion.
My point was...
No, I don't understand your point. I understand your point completely.
Mine is keep that same energy. If it was shit when Canelo was given it and it was shit when Loma was given it, then it's shit if Fury gets given it or Wild. It's shit. Because the person then inherits the WBC belt by email is just looked upon by everyone in the boxing world. Well, he's not really a champion.
I haven't seen anyone big up the idea of franchise being Fury being a franchise champion. So please send me the link to those people so I can make fun of them online. I will gladly do that.
Well, like I say, it's come from Bob to start with. I don't know if people are behind it. There's some people saying this is what it was for because we're going to get the fight that we want from it. And he doesn't have, Dillian White isn't in the picture because we skip that out because of franchise status, no mandatories, and we get the big fight. And that's what we do it for. But you should just keep that same. If it was bad when two other guys have been given it or asked for it and got it, then it's not good. Full stop.
Yep, I absolutely agree. I think most fans are in agreement with you, and most media are, I should say. I haven't seen a lot of people like on boxing Twitter, let's say, like champion any of those situations. Maybe like promoters have been fickle and inconsistent, but that's totally to be expected because sometimes they will, there's going to be a positive effect to have a franchise champion amongst their stable, or it's going to be a negative effect to have a franchise champion in another person's stable. It's like that's where the issue lies. Moving on, though, to the topic I know Gary wants to debate and discuss at length here. Steve Kim reporting over at ESPN. I think he's now the head guy at ESPN for boxing, right? I'm assuming.
I guess so. Now Big Dan's freelance.
Big indictment on ESPN's boxing group over there. But moving on, Golden Boy Promotions president Eric Gomez confirmed that while plans call for Ryan Garcia to headline their return show on July 4th against Jorge Linares will be delayed due to Linares being in Japan, quote, obviously that's a fight we want to make, end quote. Gomez told ESPN, quote, both fighters are interested in making it, so we're going to table that for the time being, end quote. Sources tell ESPN that undefeated Hector Tenahara and veteran Merceto Gesta are in the running to face Garcia. Now, this happened, I want to say, an hour before the show started. Ryan Garcia tweeted, I don't know about my fight July 4th, guys. Won't happen most likely, and it's sad because I want to fight so bad, but it's just a lot of bullshit I'm not going to get into right now. And Hector Tenahara decided to quote tweet that. Now that you can't get the easy opponents you usually get, you make some bullshit excuses? I've been ready. Sign the contract and let's go July 4th. Hashtag Team Tenahara at Golden Boy Boxing.
that hashtag will never trend.
No, it would never trend. But Gary, as the resident Tenahara fan and Stan,
the only,
that might be true. Thoughts on obviously the news that came out of sources being that for a Ryan Garcia Hector Tenahara fight or Ryan Garcia Merceto Gesta, and now the thought of or your thoughts on Ryan Garcia saying he's not fighting on that date is due to quote bullshit and Tenahara calling him out. Your thoughts?
It's clear as day. Like it's hiding in plain sight. Ryan Garcia doesn't want that smoke. He didn't want the smoke last year last August when Tenahara fought in Dallas and called him. Like if you just look at this, look, Ryan Garcia is a better athlete and a bigger puncher. But if you look at the skill set, it's not even close. Like Ryan is getting better. We really haven't seen him tested and pushed since he got with Chepo. But like, look how finely tuned and look at the arsenal that Tenahara has. Tenahara can fight. He showed in his last fight against Burgess that he can fight on the inside. He can fight going backwards. He can fight coming forward. There's so many different gears, and he's so sharp in what he does. He's like a finely tuned Luke Campbell. It's like Ryan Garcia is not ready for that.
Wait. He's a finely tuned Luke Campbell.
I think that's much better on the inside, which we
A
saw.
finely tuned Olympic gold medalist. Fucking hell. I mean, yeah, sure. I just can't help but think what did Ryan say? There's stuff going on, or what did he say? How did it go?
I don't know about my fight July 4th, guys. It won't happen most likely, and it's sad because I want to fight so bad, but it's a lot of bullshit I'm not going to get into right now.
Why does that make me think Oscar's in the background just causing some fucking bullshit?
I mean,
this is how it started before.
To play mediator between obviously the two sides here in the debate, Rob's side and Gary's side. Rob playing the jokester, wanting to troll Gary, and Gary being the fanboy. Gary, is it possible that Ryan Garcia is not ducking Hector Tanahara and it's just some promotional bullshit, which we know has happened in the past?
No.
We know that happens a lot with that team in particular with Oscar. Is that the bullshit that Ryan is referring to, and not necessarily him not wanting to face a guy like Hector Tanahara right now?
I don't think Ryan Garcia has called out Devin Haney and Tank Davis. I don't think he's ducking.
Okay.
I really don't. I'm just saying that for bands, right? Okay. I think Garcia would be fine with the fight. I think De La Hoya is a little scared Tanahara wins, right? But I don't think it would damage Garcia if he lost, right? He's a star because of his looks and his appeal, right? He's not a star because of what he does in the ring.
But you can't.
Not improved. He's vastly improved, but he's not a star because of boxing.
Yeah, but losing to Tanahara, that's going to be rough.
But
I will say this: losing to Tanahara is different than losing to a Haney.
When you've been calling out the guys that you said he's called out, like the Haneys, the Javantas, everybody, and then you lose to Tanahara, it's like, oh yeah, okay then, yeah.
What makes you think Haney beats Tanahara though?
No. We're not saying Haney beats Tanahara. We're just saying that if you're Ryan Garcia and you're calling out these A-listers and you lose to a D-lister, a F-lister.
Oh, alphabet. He's going down the alphabet.
Like maybe on letter M or some shit. He's somewhere deep in the fucking alphabet, right? That's where Tanahara is.
He went down the alphabet, guys.
Okay, I'll be honest here. It would hurt him more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just not in the same way. It's not a one-to-one analog, absolutely, for obvious reasons that you guys will know once I say it. But Linares losing to he lost at 140 hurt him so much because that was who he lost to. That's why we haven't heard from Linares since he's now been in negotiations with Ryan Garcia. He was gone for a year and a half. Why? Because he lost to a relatively known name. Maybe hardcores knew who he was, like we did, but no one knew him, and he lost bad. If Ryan Garcia goes out there and loses bad, it's absolutely detrimental to his career. I'm not saying it's the thing that stops his career, but it is a massive hurdle to get over. That is a bigger hurdle than a Haney loss, a Gervonta Davis loss, a Teofimo Lopez loss, Lomachenko loss, for very obvious reasons.
I'm trying to draw a comparison to that, right? And I can't Josh Greer versus Stephen Fulton, but neither one of them were really known. Austin Dulé lost to Lil B Hop, but Dulé, if B Hop would have lost that fight, do you think it would have crippled?
I'll name a better example for you because those are bad examples. George James DeGale, right? But here's the deal: that was when they were not on the national or international level like they became. Ryan Garcia is already selling out Honda Center. He's already selling out big venues. He's already doing good numbers. So he's already went past the point of being that sort of hardcore prospect. So when he loses, no one really sees it. If he loses, it's on social media everywhere because he's on social media everywhere.
Nathan Gorman and Dubois, is that a better comparison? I don't think Gorman's tarnished.
If Dubois lost, it would have been a bigger fucking hit. Gorman wasn't the darling. Gorman would be your Tanahara. Hardcores knew who Gorman was, but Dubois is the one that's getting the push. He's the one getting the AJ comparisons. Ryan Garcia is getting the Oscar comparisons. If Dubois was to lose to Gorman, that would absolutely set him back significantly. And now if he lost to Joe Joyce, or even let's say better guys, Dylan White, those that level of competition, it doesn't mean as much as if he loses to Gorman. Absolutely.
Rob, just out of curiosity, who'd you pick in that Gorman Dubois fight?
Gorman.
I picked Gorman. Too. I picked Gorman.
I honestly can't remember. I don't know.
I think you picked Gorman. I think I was the only one that picked Dubois. Me and Fu. I think me and Fu were the only ones that picked Dubois.
Good for you guys. I picked Gorman. I thought it was a good fight. I thought Gorman was just too sharp. Like he was the more progressive.
I think our panel was split on that one because it was a good fight. It absolutely was. But Gorman again wasn't the. Yeah. He didn't get the media hype that Dubois got. Not even close.
Very quick earlier, 5 hours ago, Ryan Garcia tweeted, "I'm a heavy hitter like Gervonta Davis," and Davis has just replied right now, "You're a clown." Dear, this back and forth. The best of it is that we might not see these guys fight.
No, I think the Gesta fight's more likely than anything.
I think so too, and it's a tough fight. He should last more than one round because he's a tough guy, and
it's not a bad fight. No, I mean Ryan Garcia doesn't have a belt, so like I'm not holding him to the standards of Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson right now. He doesn't have a belt. He's a prospect.
So I keep hearing the US have made athletes, foreign athletes, exempt from the stuff. So what's wrong with Linares coming over still?
Is
it just
maybe he just cannot get a work visa? That's possible.
Yeah, maybe. Or is it a bit too close now to July 4th? Maybe.
That might be an issue as well, that when that exemption happened, it was already past the point of no return, so to speak, for that fight. That's possible.
Yeah.
But that only happened, a week and a half ago, I feel like.
And we're likely doing it as well. Formula One is coming here at Silverstone for, I think, 2 Grand Prix, and they've every team member of all the Formula One teams are going to be exempt from quarantine. Because I don't know if you know, Formula One teams are immune to coronavirus.
They're essential workers, man. You didn't know that?
Yeah, but I think they must be immune.
Drivers are essential workers.
Drivers. I like how you did that. That was good.
What about the dude that lifts the front of the car up when the guys take the wheels off? Is he essential?
Are you talking about like the transporter with Jason Statham? I'm very confused here.
Yeah. I don't know if what you guys do with Formula One or.
You're talking about the guys, the pit crew.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No,
that's close enough. It's like your gas station employee.
They're only essential to the driver. They're not essential, like actual workers.
Let's move on, though. I was going to say something, but I forgot. And it was going to be funny, but I forgot. We're going to move on. Golden Boy pleased with WBC restoring Franchon Cruz-Dezern's title when she obviously lost to Alejandra Jimenez. And then Alejandra Jimenez popped for, what did she pop for again? It was like Nanorol or something like the basic steroid shit, like from the 60s, I want to say. And as they should have, declared a no contest, and she has her title back. I think this is the right move. Maybe it took a little bit long, obviously speaking, but if they did any sort of due process, then good for them for that. But at least they came to the right conclusion, which is no contest or no decision, and she gets her title back. So I'm happy with it.
Apparently, the WBC, talking of due process, they went to 5 doctors to make sure. You sure it was positive? Can you take a look at this? Right. It was. Can you? I think they really wanted a Mexican.
It's possible. It's absolutely possible.
They gave her absolutely every single opportunity to still hang on to this, and but they just couldn't. The pressure got put on too much. I think that this is ridiculous.
To give them some slack, if they're doing that to everyone and we're just not hearing it, right? Like, let's say it's not Jared Miller because he was the WBA, but like anyone else that's popped in the clean boxing program, if they do that where they go to 5 different doctors or 5 different professionals and get their opinion about the data, the results, I'm okay with that, because everyone within that industry has been saying for the last 2 years that this industry is bullshit. And we don't have a lot figured out. So we're trying to get more shit figured out. We're trying to adapt and reform drug policy and PED policy. So if part of that is expanding the due process, I'm okay with it, to be honest. If it's a one-time thing they did that, then that just shows favoritism, and that's an issue.
I think they hope that this would just go away.
I think that's true because it
a
took
lot of noise started gathering around this, and they kind of had to see it through and do the right thing in the end.
I do too. Like, she's great for she's got a great backstory. She'd have a fan base, right? Like, I was at that fight, and like no one knew who she was. By the end of that fight, everyone was a Jimenez fan. Like, everyone liked her, right? She's good, without the steroids, she's good for boxing. And that fight was so good. Like, that was such a war. Like, now it like didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like Reggie Bush's Heisman season, like an incredible season. That didn't happen. Like, we just said it didn't happen now. And they still haven't given the Heisman to Vince Young, but I digress.
I mean, that
criminal, Gary. That was criminal. You're right.
For some people, like, just even like with DAZN's hair coming off in the fight, and like, you want to fight or are you worried about your hair kind of thing? And the people are like, did you see that women's fight last night? Oh, it was a great fight. Oh yeah, your fucking hair came off. It was good, you know.
People forget, like, we were all like demanding Shields Jimenez after that. Like, that's how quickly Jimenez went from no one to we want her to face the best person around her weight class right now. And that unfortunately gets a little bit of a massive sort of dark hanging cloud on it because it's the PD test. That's going to happen regardless.
Yeah. So basically, we're given a backdated, was it 6 months or was it 9 months?
I thought it was 9.
Might be 9. So basically, that's backdated, so she could be back in the ring in October. And she's on like some probation for a year after that. Like, if she pops again.
Speaking of, PD abusers, Dylan White, Alexander Povetkin, because speaking of boxing, you can't recover from PD tests. Shout out to these two guys. With, I think, they both have 2 positive tests between them. And I don't want to get into maybe how they're not the same. I understand all PD positive tests are the same, but I think they both have 2, right?
Well,
they both tested positive twice.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying they're suspended twice. I'm saying they both tested positive twice. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
One was allowed because he was cleared of it. So
thank you, Rob. Okay, thank you, Rob. That was so good. Dylan White, Alexander Povetkin was supposed to be in July. Now it's in August that they're planning for. Writes Ron Lewis over at Boxing Scene. Guys, thoughts on? I'm going to Rob first. Thoughts on White Povetkin in August? Obviously, it's going to be pay-per-view, I'm assuming. I mean, we've known about this fight for a while now, so I don't expect any new thoughts about it, but thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone from the Manchester Arena to Eddie Hearns' back garden. I mean, it's still happening. But very quick, I just want to quickly swing back. Like Niger in the chat, she also wasn't fined because of COVID and people struggling during their monetarily. So that was the reasoning behind not fining Jimenez because of the pandemic.
When was that fight? Was it this year? It can't be this year.
It was January. It was the
fuck? God, 2020. God, I can't handle it, man. I can't handle it. There's some. I was talking. I think it was to Nigel about music off air. I was trying to name of like best rap albums of the year, and there's an album that came out in May last month. That's the best album of the year. Totally forgot it was this year. Thought it was last year. I thought it was last year, guys. Totally spaced out.
It's crazy.
It's been several years. Yeah.
2020 has been like dog years for human beings. I want to say. Let's just be honest about it.
It's been dog shit. What are you talking about? White Povetkin. Yeah, it's. I just supposed to be the 4th week of Eddie Hearns running. With the back garden stuff. It'll be the last fight in the Fight Camp series, pay-per-view, like you say. Yeah. Some good fights looking like they're going to happen in. It looks like they're matching them up quite good.
I'll say this: I really don't care for this fight because Povetkin doesn't seem like he seems like he's slipping drastically. That Michael Hunter draw was I think a massive red flag for where he's at in his career.
I don't know.
I would have loved a Dylan White big Baby Miller fight. I know Eddie says he's never gonna work with him again, but he's lying. He will. I would love that fight. That makes the most sense in the world.
Just quickly on the Povetkin Hunter thing, I think Povetkin was denied a knockdown. The ropes held Hunter up in that fight. I think he's still dangerous. It's just I don't know. It's just a 12 12-round fight or a 10-round fight. Maybe later on he's lacking a little, but he was still giving it Hunter, giving it back as good as he was kind of getting. I know Hunter's sort of on the come up, and Povetkin's maybe like a wily sort of old pro in a way. But I don't think he's completely sharp. He's dangerous, but I know what you mean.
Here's the thing. I don't really. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I apologize. I don't really rate Michael Hunter that high, like a lot of people do. I view him as like a very poor man's version of Jesse Hart. That's how I view him.
That's rough.
Sorry, like that's. Like, I think he's going to be a guy that's always kind of stuck around like 14 or 15 in the division.
I think that's a good comparison. I think that's fair. Jesse Hart's a scrub. Like Jesse Hart's a good fighter.
Yeah, Jesse Hart's going to be hanging around that 10 position. Right,
Yeah,
like that's
a poor man's version of a 10 position. That's
it's
all.
at 15. Yeah, you're at 15 instead of 10.
All right.
And it's mainly because he's a heavyweight, and I think all heavyweights are poor versions of other people in other weight classes. Let's be honest about it. That's just I just have a prejudice against heavyweights. Let's be honest about it. But digressing, I think that Povetkin struggling with a borderline top 15 guy in the division, it was a hugely alarming thing. Dylan White's a top 5 guy in the division. He's a guy that I think can give everyone the division within the top 5. You know, the Furies, the AJs, the Wilders, those guys. Andrew Rees, he gives them all trouble. He might beat those guys on any given night. So Povetkin now, I'm not interested in that matchup. I'm more interested in Dylan White facing another contender. But I understand that these are all guys in the same stable. It's relatively a decent fight in terms of what it can draw, because Povetkin has been on UK pay-per-view for a while now. So, yeah, I get it. It's just not the fight I would want as a fan. That's all. Gary, your thoughts on White Povetkin?
As long as there's no drug testing, I'm all for it. Let them take whatever they want. What's interesting to me, and obviously hypocritical, is that Eddie says he won't work with Big Baby, but he has no problem working with Dillian White. Square that circle.
Or Povetkin.
Or Povetkin.
Miller wasn't cleared.
Neither was Povetkin.
No, I'm just saying.
Twice.
But Miller went on the whole, I haven't done anything, I did nothing wrong, kind of. I don't know if Povetkin did that, but that was one of
though. Like,
nah, but Miller was like the fucking Lance Armstrong of boxing.
No. You know why? Because boxing doesn't care about Lance Armstrong shit. Like, we're good with PDs, let's be honest.
You know where Lance Armstrong's from?
Yeah, your town.
Texas.
Exactly.
Have you seen the 30 for 30 yet on the go?
I have it.
Is it good?
It's good because it points out what a fucking asshole he was.
Yes, yeah.
He was a nasty guy. Oh man.
He lives in Colorado now, right? Got rid of him, shipped him out.
We shipped him out. We traded him.
Damn, that was yeah. No, I kind of knew the story anyway. Nothing really came up on there that surprised me, but it was just him retrospectively kind of
being an asshole.
Part of him seemed apologetic, but there's just something about him because he was such a fucking liar. You're like, I don't even know if I believe this kind of almost apology.
Yeah, I can probably agree with you on that one. Moving on.
There's some sincerity in his eyes, and I'm not sure I see it. I don't know.
Moving on, Canelo Alvarez versus Joe Smith Jr. agreed to an ESPN fight mid-July, says sources, writes Mike Coppinger over at The Athletic. Gary, I know you're a big fan of Joe Smith Jr. Thoughts on this fight?
I like the fight. It's a good action fight, right? I mean, there's nothing not to like about it. I don't know that any of them are going to win a world title should whoever wins this fight. Well, Alvarez already had a world title.
He could win it again, potentially.
I mean,
it would be, I wouldn't pick him, but he could win.
The WBO, I think, retweeted this thing, so it's kind of being considered for that little mini tournament, I think.
Mm-hmm.
With Gilberto Ramirez and who's the other one?
Fuck. Well, no, it's not Gilberto anymore. Remember, because he's being a diva.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he was named in that thing.
I forget who else was in it. I'll look in the article. Maybe it says it there. But I think the winner of this fight will be an excellent by the way, the other bout is Umar Salamov versus Maxim Vlasov. That's the other fight in this mini tournament for the WBO title because obviously Canelo vacated it. So I think Alvarez is going to win title. No.
Oh, you're right. I mean, someone's got to win the vacant belt, right? Someone's got to get it.
It's Alvarez.
I'm going to say Joe Smith gets a world title.
You're just saying that because I picked Alvarez.
Yeah. I don't know. I was leaning towards Alvarez, and then when you said Alvarez is going to win, I'll play devil's advocate. I'll take the other side of the coin. I'll take Joe Smith.
Rob, as the deciding vote, who do you pick? Preliminary.
I don't see Alvarez stopping Joe Smith, so it's up to Joe Smith to win the rounds, I guess.
Okay, that's a non-pick here.
Win 7 rounds or score a knockdown and win 6.
Alvarez can knock down Joe Smith. What are you talking about? He's been knocked down before.
No, I don't think he does it to him. That's what I said.
So you're picking Joe Smith?
I don't know.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. I think much like Matt, I'll wait till closer to when is it? No, I'll go with fuck it. I'll go with Gary just because I know how much he's missed.
Hate you two. Okay. I knew the second I got on the show that you guys wanted to just do a show to be together.
I was actually leaning towards Alvarez until you jumped on Alvarez. I was like, I'll go the other way.
Oh, I assumed you were gonna pick Joe Smith. That's like your boy.
Joe Smith's fan, yeah.
So you assumed he was gonna say that, and you assumed he was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Double I in the chat saying Umar Salamov is decent. He is decent, but I don't think he beats even Joe Smith Jr. I think we have a good fight. I think Umar Salamov's a fun fighter. I think he probably beats Maxim Vlasov, but I don't pick him against Alvarez or Joe Smith Jr. I think Umar's kind of that 10-ish guy. You know, he's ranked number 10, and Alvarez and Joe Smith, they're in the top 10.
Oh, so he's not a poor version of anybody?
He's probably a poor man's version of like
doesn't matter.
Maybe Madrimov, you know?
He wishes.
I haven't mentioned him on the show. I got shit on him.
Yeah.
There's some good fights coming, man. I tell you, let's get boxing back because was it?
Speaking of boxing me back, we do have fights this week/weekend that we can talk about now if you want.
No, I was just saying, like, who was it? Estrada and Chocolatito. Looking oh man, that's gonna be good. Who you got in that one?
Estrada right now
off a long layoff, injury.
Yeah, but like, I feel like that won't affect him. I'll be honest. I don't know why. Estrada to me just never seems like the guy like he has any dips in performance quality. It's just whether or not he puts the right game plan together. Like his quality of performance is always the same, always consistent. He's had injuries before. He's had layoffs before. He's never had issues coming back. Gonzalez, to me, he looks so unbelievably good against Khalid Yaffe. I have no idea how to rate him right now. He could have like a Manny Pacquiao renaissance right now, where he comes in here, takes over the division again, and has this sort of last epilogue to his career that is Hall of Fame worthy in and of itself. That could happen. So I'm picking Estrada, but that's one of those, man. I almost don't want to pick. I like both guys a lot.
How'd you go with Chocolatito by poetic justice, right? Like Chocolatito's such a good dude. Like he's so good for boxing. He was so much fun to watch. And he was so underpaid for like being a pound for pound guy. You know, he never got the big paydays that he deserved, like the other pound for pound guys got. So I got Chocolatito by poetic justice.
And I've got, I'm going to go there because he's obviously, he's obviously got luck on his side right now after attending that fucking fight night in Nicaragua. I haven't heard any reports that he got coronavirus, so luck is on his side.
Good point. Good point.
One more, Matt. Your new Mexican favorite,
Martinez, in like August, right? They're talking about.
Yeah, he's gonna, I think, have one fight and then possibly on the Canelo card against is it Methylane? Sorry.
Ooh. I'm gonna try to pronounce his name. I'm gonna butcher it like I butcher every name. Muiti Methylane, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's been around for a while. He's been one of those guys where he's like Linares. Like he's really good, but he hasn't fought the best competition at times. He's kind of avoided certain people at times. He's been a product of timing as well.
Was he once a former hype train of yours and you've jumped well and truly off it?
No.
Oh, so he's not like Linares at all. This is good. Let's go. Next topic.
Well, last topic actually, Rob, is the fights coming up this week. Yeah. First up, obviously in Mexico on Facebook pay-per-view, as Gary said, for $5, which
fuck out of it.
I'm not buying. Is Carlos Molina versus Michi Munoz, Eric Walker versus Nestor Fernando Garcia, and some other guys who I also have not heard of, except for Carlos Molina. I've heard of Carlos Molina.
What a shit name.
June 9th, which was that Sunday?
Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday? God, I don't know why they're doing this shit. So
Tuesday fight. What's wrong with that?
I don't like it. No.
Home.
No, I don't like it. ESPN, Shakur Stevenson versus Felix Caballero.
He's a -1,000, I think.
I've never heard of the guy. Michaela Mayer versus Helen Joseph, who I've heard of. Jared Anderson versus Johnny Langston. The fighter that I haven't heard of. Roberto Ramirez, who I've heard of, and he lost. Calvin Metcalf, who I've heard of, but I don't think I've ever seen fight. I've seen articles written about him.
Guido?
Card.
Is Guido on there?
Yeah, Guido Vianello,
yeah. In Fury Camp, Sam Jones fighter. Gary's country.
Managed by MTK?
Probably.
No, like, I haven't seen him. Like I've heard, like I know the name. Like I know he's supposed to be good, but is he any good?
Who, the Guido guy?
Yeah.
I've never heard this guy's name in my life. Yeah, you guys are lying to me.
I haven't seen him. He's been floating around. Like I've heard his name. He's supposed to.
The hipster tag revoked.
I've been revoking that tag myself for a while. Let's be
honest. But Jared Anderson, Bob Arum was saying, Tyson told me he was the key to the success. He gave him great work for the Wilder fight. So yeah, Jared Anderson, he's the next guy.
I like the Michaela Mayer Helen Joseph. Helen Joseph looked fantastic against Stefan Pursoon.
The potential upset of the card.
Oh, huge potential upset factor here. Let's be honest. She beat up Adina Kiss on the, I want to say it was the John Pascal Marcus Brown card in the Barclays Center. She beat up Adina Kiss on that card. She's been around for a minute. She has a good record. She's tough. I know Nija has been like shouting her out from the rooftops because she's also from Nigeria. But she's good. Like she's here to bang. She's here to brawl. Like she's not here to play nice. There's really good sparring footage of her and Clarissa Shields online if you guys want to see that. I'm excited for this fight. I think Michaela Mayer,
she's tough.
Look, I've never been sold on Michaela Mayer. I think she's a little bit up and down basic. She doesn't really give me anything that wows me. I don't think she has like really insane power that can save her at times. Like a Mikey Garcia at like 130 and 126, because he was extremely basic in those weight classes too, but he had power in those weight classes. Mary doesn't have a pop in a way, and not even like respectful power like Shields obviously does. Shields doesn't have a lot of knockout ratio or a lot of knockouts, but she clearly has some pop to her. Mayweather in the the last half of his career wasn't getting knockouts. Clearly had respectable power still. He hurt Canelo Alvarez in their fight, for fuck's sake, right? Mare doesn't have that respectable power, in my opinion. She only relies on her technique, which is good, but it's really basic. It's basic fundamentals, time and time again. It's basic patterns, basic punching combinations, and that could be exploited quite easily by a decent brawler who has some pop, who has some grit, but may not be as technically good as she is. I like this fight a lot. I don't know who I'm picking here. This is one of those, I'm not picking anyone. I'm excited to see it. It's a good women's boxing fight.
I agree with Michaela Mayer is the better boxer, and if she can change it up, she can win. But if not, if she just comes out in the same punch sequence, yeah,
those the 1-2, 1-2-3, 1-1-1, 1-2, 1-2-3, 1-1, 1-1. Like if she just does that time and time again, you get limited with your ceiling. You just cannot progress to a certain level if that's all you can do. And not one-on-one analog, but look at Katie Taylor, a woman that has kind of been predictable in her last few fights in terms of her punching patterns and her setups. I think that has led to her having some issues in her last fights. She needs to change it up. She needs to add some variance to her game, at least in terms of game planning. Same with Michaela Mayer.
Michaela Mayer is the female version of Jamel Herring, Olympic teammates. Is that although Herring is like, I don't know what he's changed, but like he looks really good. But like I thought that the same knock you had on Michaela Mayer, I had early on with Jamel Herring. Like fundamentally, he's good. He comes at you, and bad boxers he'll outbox, but like Sapikov is always going to give him a nightmare because he doesn't change it up enough. He comes out with the same, but I mean he's a different fighter now with Bomac, so maybe.
Rob.
Yeah, no. For me, this is the potential upset of the card. I don't see Shakur having any troubles with his guy. Jared Anderson, he's 3-0 anyway, so this isn't supposed to be. Mind you, Robisky's on the card, and he wasn't supposed to lose his fucking debut either. But shit happens. It's boxing. But I think, I don't know what Mayer's done to her team to get put in. So everyone else seems to be getting a nice knockover.
On this part, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and she's been throwing not deep. I don't know, like pretty deep.
How many fights does Mayer have now? Non-box rec. That's just ESPN boxing schedule, so I don't have box rec.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but she's been a little vocal lately because Terry Harper got the shot that she thought she was going to get. Obviously, Eddie, came in a lot for that fight. So she wants her shot. I think she'll get one next year, or maybe the end of this year at some point. But
if she wins this fight and she looks, let's say, like somewhat decent in here, and she looks like she's competent, she wins it pretty convincingly and decisively, I'm okay with the Terry Harper fight next. I'll be honest. That's the logical next step, in my opinion, for Mayer if she wins this fight in any comfortable fashion. If it's a rough fight where you're going to the judges' scorecards, she may not get it, and she still does, you take maybe another 2 fights before a real title fight, a real legit fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard with women's boxing because the talent pool isn't deep, so it's difficult. You're either fighting someone that might test you, or you're fighting someone that you're supposed to just completely walk through and dominate. So there's no middle ground, I don't think, with women's boxing. But hopefully we get there, because I think there are a lot more women in the game. We're seeing it a lot more on TV, and that. So hopefully these girls inspire more generations to come. But very quick, you can get Shakur, Michaela, I think Jared Anderson, and must be Guido in a 4. I don't know what you guys call it over there, but like an accumulator here. All 4 have to win a 4-fold or whatever. And the odds are minus 180. Minus 1,080. I just think that's, I don't know. I guess it's a sign of the times, but this isn't like new either.
No, this is top rank through and through. Let's be honest.
I don't want to say it, but because it's coronavirus and this, that, and the other. But it's kind of what just A sides. Okay, the A sides. I'll pick the A sides.
This looks like a normal pre-quarantine Shakur Stevenson card, to be honest. So like I don't really give him. Oh, it's just quarantine. I don't get that whole discussion online. It makes no sense to me. Like, no, it's just a bad card, guys. It's okay. We can call it bad. We don't need to give him slack. It's okay. It's fine.
I kind of figured these were the kind of cards we were going to get for a while when boxing returned. Like I'm not defending. I'm just saying it's not unexpected. But I want to ask y'all: should I be a fanboy of Guido Vianello because he's Italian? Should I be his fan? Should I for him? I don't know anything about him.
You're a Tanahara fan, right?
Well, he's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I met him many times. But
by the way, I wanted to compare Mayer to Hector Tanahara, but I thought Gary might get mad at me.
Who was that guy that you're loosing off? You sort of picked him.
Rashard Hicks.
Yeah, he's your boy as well.
Yeah, and he'll be back. He'll be back.
So why wouldn't you root for Guido?
All right, I'll root for Guido Vianello.
Yeah,
I'll be a fan.
You're
No
like
problem.
he comes in with like the gladiator mask on and shit.
Yeah, that's what they call him, the gladiator. I don't know anything about him other than he's like a 6 foot. He's a unicorn. He's a tall Italian. He's like 6'7". Like,
yeah.
Where did they find him? What, taller than everybody else in the country?
Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the show. I think. Hold on, echo here. Probably Gary's fault. That's gonna be it for the show. Let me get some outro music here because we've been on for a while. We should be back on before the Jesse Maddaleno card, so we're gonna break down that one in a future show, even though that's only 2 days after the Shakur Stevenson card, which that would mean it's on Thursday. Quick maths. If I'm what, Rob?
Not doing a live fight chat.
Shut up, man.
What? Think of the numbers.
I hate you so much.
What? What's his bag? It's what everyone's been waiting for.
Oh, Rob, what were those odds? Was a super that's horse racing. Was a 4-team teaser what you were looking for? Is that what?
That kind of thing. Yeah, it was Shakur, Michaela Mayer, Guido, and Jared Anderson, I think, and it was odds of 1,080 to 1.
And in horse racing, we'd call that a superfecta. In
Minor.
Other sports book, we'd call it a 4.
Yeah. Sorry, the outro, Matt. Carry on.
I don't know what you guys are talking about anymore. I'm so mad you guys ganged up on me on this show. I'm so mad.
Oh, really?
I feel left out.
I went on some good Tanahara piss taking. That was good. That wasn't aimed at you. I'm happy to take the fun out of everyone.
You can find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, on all social media platforms. Obviously, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe. And like I said at the very top of the show, if you want to hear any of my thoughts or any of this channel's thoughts potentially about what's happening around the world that's not boxing, check out our podcast, Nothing New, that I did with Anthony Walker discussing the protests and riots that are going on around the world and all that stuff. So if you guys want to check out any of that, or if you want to see any of that info or hear me talk about it, again, on our podcast feeds, because we play music on that show, we can't put on YouTube because of copyrights. So only on podcasts. That's why. But digressing, over to you guys, Rob.
Very quick. Bob Arum has revealed that Manny Pacquiao has told him that he will be running for president in the Philippines in 2022. So, got to get these big fights in for Pacquiao this year, next year, and then make the Philippines great again.
So it's like if the guy from The Apprentice can win, why can't a boxing champion?
Exactly. Your guy raised the bar. Well, not your guy, obviously. I don't know if you voted, but he raised the bar today. He beat the injection shit with the nonsense that fell out of his mouth today.
I know.
I don't know.
It's a great day. A great day. Fuck out of here, you moron. Oh, but anyway, yeah. UK Rob, MCR, Instagram and Twitter. Catch you on the next one.
Gary.
The market was up today. Rob, your MGM was went to 23, but then it went back down to under 22. But it went all the way up to 23. But it fell off a little bit before. It closed up, but
yeah.
I
think because the Top Rank coming back with boxing, they were like, "Whoa!" And then they went, it's a Bob Arum card.
All the casinos opened up again. I think they
yeah,
had a little more to do with it than Top Rank card. But find me at all forms of social media, 3D Boxing blog, from Texas to the world. Thank you and God bless.
I can't believe Rob tried to say that because boxing's back, the market's up. That's so good, Rob. That was good. Peace out, everyone. Have a great day. Stay safe out there if you're out in the streets. That's all I got to say. Stay safe. Peace.